And we are live. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Already got one joining in there, but I figured I would just come at you and just see how everyone was doing. Man, it's been hectic. It's been hectic. You know, Rick's out in California. He's doing his thing, and, you know, he flies back, and I think he's home for a day. And then we head out to good old Evanston, Wyoming. Sounds like that should be a town in Illinois. But I'm out here with Sam right now on the porch and everything. Just figured I would see how everyone was doing, talk about, answer any questions you might have. What's up, Jackson? And, oh man, I can't read that one. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? Ramsey Country and everyone else that's running through there. 45 Auto, Charlie Smith. What's up, gentlemen? So, yeah, really looking forward to this. What's up, Mr. Kreiderman? How are you doing? Dang, a lot of people in here. 27 already. I appreciate you guys joining in. Hopefully you've been following some of the videos. We went live today with the new release of that suppressor, and then I released one on the channel. What's up, Al Osborne? Good to hear from you again. So, yeah, it's been a crazy busy day, and then I've got to get a lot of ammo reloaded for this match out in Wyoming. You know, they're saying 200 rounds. It's like a Mission Impossible vid. Yeah, I'm at Sam's house, and he doesn't have really, really bright lighting on the porch, but he's got good service. Lead Mining says he wants a can. How can I buy one tomorrow? Okay, so officially, when I told you guys that was the first release of it, it really is. No one actually has those suppressors. They're all sitting in my office, so if you're interested in getting one, speak with your dealer and request that they contact Microtech, get set up, and we will get them squared away. So yeah, we actually have a good inventory of them. We've been basically building inventory. Got the contract ones shipped out last week. Once that was done. What's up, Conservative Sniper? Yeah, I don't know if I'll sell container loads of them, but you do get what you pay for. You really do. Yeah, I hate that, Doug B. No cans in New York. John Kreiderman, you can get a can. You have to wait a little bit. I know suppressors. Those are absolutely 100. I appreciate it, Andrew. Team Hope. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to have to put on my reading glasses. Hold on. Did you manage to sneak a couple out? No, not yet. No, none for the giveaway. I like these little rimless glasses. Oh, man. So I just got Lapua brass in today. Got 200 rounds in. I'm still waiting on the DTAC bullets. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the 6mm just in case. You know, if an arc comes, I'll probably shoot it. Can't wait to see more of the Yeeter Discreeter. Yeah, we're trying to put some information out there. I've had a lot of people ask about the coatings. Because for those that didn't catch the live chat, we do have it in black Cerakote. Yes, let me answer this. I always try to get to the questions. So San Miguel, there will be an adapter for 3-lug. It's already been engineered and designed. And Jackson, I did read your comments about the 6.5 Creedmoor. Unfortunately, this is not a rifle-rated can. If you guys are used to dealing with pressure units, we get into a range there that it's not going to work for this can. It's really only rated for blackout and 9mm plus P. It'll keep it in the 30,000 range. Let me see here. K-47 or AR-15. Explain why in an Australian accent. You got me on that one last week, I think. I'm a through and through. What is up? Is your 6 covered? Dang, I wish I could get them in here on this chat. But I'm an AR-15 guy through and through. I was actually just working on 3 AKs the other day, and, you know, actually it was a Polytech machine gun, and I like the AK-47s. They run really, really well. Yeah, 300 blackout subsonic to be exact. It is not rated for supersonic. What's up, Richard Stevens? How are you doing, sir? Trying to get caught up. Need to redesign it for rifle rounds. I'm not going to say that's not in the works. There are some other cans in prototype stage right now. We'll see how that goes. We wanted to kind of see how this one went. Bad comrade. bad comrade. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been one of those crazy days. Sam, you want to say hello?
How you guys doing?
Sam's over there with his daughter. I don't know if you can see him in the dark. Daughter's waving. What's the most inappropriate pistol I could put on this vintage 1911, a Makarov. Nothing's so it won't work on your CZ Scorpion. Yes, your CZ Scorpion. It will work on a CZ Scorpion 9mm. You can burn it down. As I mean, you're not going to hurt it. I'll tell you, Sam and I did all the destructive testing on this unit, and you guys have no idea how many tens of thousands of rounds we went through trying to burn that can down. I mean, just full auto, just mag after mag after mag after mag. You gonna post some videos of the matches you shoot this weekend, Ramsey Country? Yeah, I hope he does, because I'm trying to learn more about this this PRS stuff. It will not work on your CZ805. No, the 805 is a 5.56. You definitely don't want to do that. Too much pressure. Come to Denver, Colorado. Let's smack some steel. Actually, we are flying into Denver, Sean. We are flying into Denver and then driving all the way out to Wyoming. We could have saved some time flying into Utah, but the flights weren't that well. Okay, so DW, the Mystic, I believe, uses it's a monocore, and it I think the weight of the Mystic is a lot heavier. It's a lot longer. You don't have the modularity to make it smaller. Those are some of the things right off the top of the bat. A can with the same design DNA for 5.6. Yeah, Andrew, like I said, that's down in the works. No, Abigail, not yet. No 30 cal. How can we get in line? John, you're just going to have to talk to a dealer. We haven't signed on any dealers. We've fielded a ton of phone calls today. So just get up with your local dealer and see if they can contact Microtech and get set up as a dealer, and we'll get them sent out for them. So we will not be selling direct. We'll only go to dealers. Let's see here. Headhunter match, steel plates match, I've already posted. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this PRS, guys. You know, it's going to be my first one, so we'll see what happens. I have no experience with the 22 Creedmoor, but I believe that Ramsey Country has, and I've heard a lot of guys talking about it. Let's see here. What about 10mm firing a... No, guys, it's just a 9mm and 9mm plus P and 300 blackout subsonic rated suppressor. It was actually designed for the 17M. And let's see, Rick is back in California. I don't know about Silencer Shop. I know I've dealt with Capital Armory before, but like I said, hold on, let's see. Ray, I sent a pic of that new rifle to Rick if you want to see it. Yeah, awesome. I'll get up with Rick on that. When you getting a haircut? Let's see. Every time somebody asks me, it's going to add another week or 2 or 3. I have no plans of getting a haircut anytime soon. Why? I don't know. Just because. Yeah, so here's your answer, Sniper65. Ramsey says he has 2 of the 22 Creedmoors. Love them. Posted a video of Chris says, don't cut it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Snipers, or let's see, Semper 6.5 Gabriel. I do have a 6mm arc bolt gun coming. Yeah, Shaggy X-ray. And then Abigail says, grow it out. Yeah, why not? I live in the country. Why do I need to keep it close anymore? No, I'm not going to do a mullet. I got to draw the line somewhere. Who? Daniel says he's got a 9mm and 300 blackout. When anybody buys LET or LMT. 5 years ago, I started my barbershop. Got a landscaping company. Thank God I did. Yeah, I don't know what that'd be like, touching people's hair every day. I don't know. We consider ourselves clean, but I'm sure there's some stories. Do you think better for trust or individual for suppressor paperwork? Would be my first time getting one. Honestly, I think they both have their pros and cons. The thing is, let's say you're married, let's say you have kids or whatever, you get everybody else fingerprinted, put them on there, and then when something happens to you eventually, because we do all go on at some point, at least the people that are in the trust will still be, trustees or grantors. So that gives it away that they're not stuck with something they got to get rid of. Someone asked about the casino. Yeah, Terry, we never did follow up on that. We actually did okay. We actually hit quite a few small hits, but we just, kept playing. We had a great time. We didn't win any big money, not like the previous week. The previous week we did really, really well and paid off that Ranger that you guys see on there. So I have no complaints. I went in there with no expectations other than just going and having some fun. And so myself, Rick, and Sam, we actually ate some noodle from the noodles. What do they call that place? The Noodle Bar. The Noodle Bar. Let's see. No, Rick Santana's not contacting me about the ARC. I'm sure they're trying. Let's see. Abigail says, mine is down the middle of my back. Now, I won't get it that long, but yeah, Chris, 2 of the matches I've never been to, but KYL's shoot is out to 1,260 yards, so it should be fun. Yeah, the one that Rick and I are going to shoots out to 1,200 yards. So, yeah, Bald and Curious, Rick is in California, so he's at work. SBR Grendel says he wouldn't use 6mm on elk. Would you recommend a manual safety for the first-time gun owner looking for a P365? Personally, no. I'm not a big safety on a personal defense weapon type person, okay? You know, if you remember that first rule, you just keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, as long as you have a very good holster. When you need that pistol is there, it's ready, it's available, and it's not something else you have to add into the mix. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone draw a pistol, attempt to fire it, realize the safety's on, and seconds matter. You know, milliseconds matter. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just telling you my preference. You asked, and I don't think a safety personally belongs on a pistol. Just treat it like a revolver. But that's just me. Time is of the essence. The 6mm Creedmoor bullet is not suitable for hunting elk. Better to use something like 270s. What is up, +5? How are you doing, sir? Okay, so, you know, I'm not a hunter now. I used to be a long time ago. Never shot an elk, so I don't know. But I know that, you know, a lot of guys are talking right now about 6mm Creedmoor and hunting. And this is a good topic for conversation because they're saying that the 6mm ARC, the terminal ballistics, are better than a 308. So would 308 be acceptable? Or 7.6, you know, would a 308 be acceptable for an elk? And if it is, if the terminal ballistics are better in the 6mm ARC, which is substantially smaller than a 6 Creedmoor as far as case capacity, then I think you'd be okay. I don't know. Let's talk about it. I went from a Glock to SIG everyday carry. Definitely had to practice and learn to hit the safety. Yeah. So yeah, there you go, Shiloh. I think Shiloh hit it on the head. It's getting comfortable with what you are carrying. Just like I had to get comfortable with the safety on a 2011 and making sure, guys, I've seen so many people get DQ'd from events and everything from, you know, dumping a pistol in a barrel and all of a sudden it knocks the safety off and they're DQ'd. I'm going to have to agree with G-Money. You can't go wrong with a Glock, but I do carry a P365 without a safety. What's the best all-around suppressor for rifle? We can get them in New York for LEO. Okay, so that's kind of a loaded question, Bald and Curious. And what I mean by that is okay, it costs a lot and it takes a lot of time to get a suppressor, guys, okay? You're looking at 8 to 12 months and a $200 tax stamp on top of the price of the suppressor. I bought one of the Silence Girl hybrids because it's the end-all be-all. It will do everything. Now, I love Thunder Beasts, but if I could only have one can, just one can, it would probably be that Silencer Kill hybrid because it can do everything from 45-70 government. It can do pistol, even though it's large, all the way down to your 9mm. Heck, you could even hang it off of a 22. Oh, BNT just shipped his new can for his TP9N. Awesome. That is good news. Uh-oh. Trying not to lose the comments here. Guys, Yeah, Bad Billy says terminal ballistics past 500 are questionable on Creedmoor rounds. Certain guides have banned them. And I can see that. So like I said, it all depends on distance, on what you're engaging. So like that elk, if you're engaging at 600-700 yards, yeah, it's probably definitely underpowered for that. So how does Creedmoor compare to 308 with terminal ballistics? 308 actually has more energy out to about, I think it's like 400 or 500 yards, but then that's when the 6.5 just starts just running away from the 308. And Rick is on here, and he got the Thunder Beast. He did order it in a 30 cal diameter, and after talking to him, he's telling me he wished he would have just got it in the 264 diameter. Hitting steel, I do appreciate it. Didn't need to do that, but thank you very much. After 9 years of 3-gun and other shooting, I still own no NFA items. Yeah, the problem is once you get an NFA item, Jabari, it's like a drug, or it's like people talk about tattoos. You get one that kind of starts it. It's crazy. Once you do get one, it is just so nice. Money is not a problem. Waiting sucks, though. Yeah, there you go, Natalie. It's just waiting. It's waiting. Rick says that thing weighs 50 pounds. It is a heavier can, but it doesn't weigh quite that much. For precision, Thunder Beast, I believe, is the way to go. I do like the Dead Air Sandman BH. Dead Air makes some great suppressors. Rugged also has some really good offerings. I've had a lot of time behind a lot of their cans. Even CGS makes some great suppressors. Let's see. I'm supposed to get a plate carrier, but it got voided. Let's see. I'm catching up, guys. What length barrel for the 6mm arc? In the bolt gun, I believe it's a 26-inch. And let's see here. You have been busy. As for 308 versus 6 arc, I think it depends on the average hunting shot distance and energy. Yep, you got it, Todd. As for Wisconsin, it's pretty rare to shoot over 100 yards. Heck, 75 grain 308 here in Wisconsin. Yeah, so that's it. It all comes into play. Here in Western North Carolina, most of your shots are going to be inside of 100 yards, just like Todd's saying it is in Wisconsin. But, if you got out, let's say you were out west somewhere and, 500, 600, 700 yards is a normal everyday shot, which I don't really see that, but I guess it could be, but you definitely want to go with something bigger. What do you think of the new military 6mm arc all-around ammo? No thoughts on that yet, because I'm sitting on 2 cases of 6mm arc and don't have anything to shoot it in. K9 Coach has 4 ATFs in ATF jail, hopefully a few more before the end of the year. See? It's just like a drug. Best can I have is for my Ruger Precision Rimfire. I love it. The firing pin is louder than the shot. Jackson, I could agree with you 100% on that. Rick and I have so much fun working on positional shooting with the Ruger RPR with a little Sparrow 22 or whatever can I've got, and it's just so nice. No ears. It sounds like you're shooting a little pellet gun. Guys, the 22s are just awesome, especially if you have something you're working with positions. Yankee Hill makes some good cans. I don't have a lot of experience with a slew of their cans, though. Can you take me hostage so I can leave here? Guys, Rick is in Cali, and he is not happy about it. He is not happy. It's like somebody, I'll be nice. It's like somebody shot his dog. I have never shot the Gemtech Lunar. I own a few Gemtech cans, and they're some of my louder cans that I have. Anyway, is your 6 or just retire? You got plenty of money. That's what Val says. Rick, just retire already. I'm going to say it. Rick, just retire already. +5 says, yeah, I went 308 because of readily available factory match ammo and cost. I don't reload, though. I'm also probably going to shoot it under 800 or under. Yeah, +5. I'm not knocking the 308. I think it's a good round. Where the 6mm or the 6 arc really shines for me is the small AR-15 footprint, and overall firearm weight is low compared to AR-10. Correct. I'm looking towards getting, oh, come on, where did it go? 6mm arc and something like 22 inches with an extra 2-inch gas tube. Yeah, the +2. I think we talked about that the other night. San Miguel says, yeah, I agree. 1 silencer is not enough. I have had 10 in my hands and 4 more in jail. Awesome. Any idea what DoD group the 6mm arc Barrett rifles went into? I do not. You guys might have a better idea. Actually, there's somebody on here that would probably know. Would 257 Weatherby mag work for over 1,000 yards shooting? That is a question for someone else. I'm not familiar with that round. I play around with 308 because it's fun, comparing it to the 6.5 Creed. I'm trying to make heads or tails out of that one. I mean, so you're saying a 308 is more fun because the bullet moves more, or it's just more fun to shoot? Oh, I keep losing my comments. I'm trying, guys, trying. Abigail says, I'd just get a 308 barrel and 6.5 or separate uppers if I'm going for a gas gun. Sorry. Trying to be a good host here and try to read all the comments. Yeah, 308 makes you work for it. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But I think it makes you a better shooter. If you get really experienced with the 308 and are used to shooting it at longer distances, when you go to the 6.5, it's just that much easier. H59 versus Trimmer 3 and the Vortex Razor HD. I'm going to have to say Trimmer 3. I've had a lot of the H59s, and I like that reticle a lot. But the Trimmer 3 is something that I've kind of embraced, and I really like it. So for me, the Trimmer 3, just remember it is busy. It is a very, very busy reticle. More brass, more barrel life. I like the 308 too. Yep. Yeah, shoot my FN, his FAL and heavy metal division 3 gun, not ideal, but really fun. Yeah, those FALs are a lot of fun. Yeah, Val is spot on with that. With 6.5, 1,000 yards gets boring. If you've just got a slight wind or a little bit of a breeze, it is no problem hitting those steels at 1,000 yards. It almost gets boring. So I can agree with Val on that. And Val, I think, is just now really embracing the long range thing. I know he just went out there a couple days ago. Who should I talk to about the can in Western North Carolina? I talked to the Shooters Express in Belmont. Natalie, I'm not sure because we haven't really signed on any dealers. I can tell you that there is a really small gun shop that I'm reasonably sure will have some of these cans. Because I work on the capacity for Microtech, I can't specifically, I'll just go ahead and say it. I would think Assurance Arms would carry those when the time comes to we're actually shipping them. I think he's shut down for about a week, though, because he's out of town. But I'm not saying he's going to be the only one in the area. Like I said, this is all brand new. Let's see here. Yeah, Assurance Arms, I think he will be. What all calibers with the R-square suppressor shoot? Only 9mm, 9mm plus P, and 300 blackout subsonic. Yeah, Shiloh hit it spot on the head with Natalie there. Might want to try Assurance Arms, but you're not going to have any luck reaching them over the next week or so. Yeah, good to hear it, San Miguel. Thanks. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about Prime. I just never caught on to it because I think didn't Prime and Nosler get into some big battle and then they got all that worked out and everything else? I don't know how all that finished out, but I know a lot of guys swear by that Prime ammo. Let's see here. Was replying to Elster. Oh, sorry, Abigail. See you, San Miguel. Have a good night. Muzzle brake versus can for long range shooting. All right, great topic. All right, if you're trying to mitigate recoil, it's going to have to go to the muzzle brake. As a matter of fact, I just took the Thunder Beast CB brake and suppressor attachment off of my AI in plans to shoot this PRS. What I did was I put the Area 419 Hellfire brake on it to help mitigate the recoil because I don't need to talk to a shooting partner or anything else. I'll be shooting it by myself. And I think the most important thing is going to be follow-up shots and being able to see trace. I was hoping to get that on video for you guys. I might be able to do that in the next couple of weeks, but man, it's been crazy busy with the suppressor release, with me working with Ella and getting her ready for this pistol match this week. You know, Mini X, we try to shoot about 20 minutes every day for the last week since I started the video series. So, yeah, Chris Smith, the 409, the 419 Hellfire is, I think it's the #1 break in PRS, and it kind of self-times with the collar, so it makes it nice. So I just put it on. It was very simple to put on. Let's see here, trying to get caught up again. Yes, muzzle brake, like I said, I agree with Ramsey, and plus you don't have to deal with Mirage. After about 7-8 rounds of 6.5 Creedmoor, even with a cover, you're going to start to see some slight Mirage coming up, and you don't need that against you. Let's see here. Todd sold his LMT to MWS. Yeah, it'd be hard pressed for me to do. I reviewed one. I think that's a good one. I think that's a keeper. Let's see here. Catching up, guys. Lead mining. That's the $1 million question. I don't know how long the R2K9 will run. That really depends on the sales and everything else. My intention is to do less than 1,000 units to civilians, but I am not the company. I'm not the owner of the company, but I know that's the schedule. And, you know, like I said, Sam and I build each and every one of those. We've built each and every one of those. So either Sam touched it or I touched it. I don't know. The 22 is very, very impressive. The RK22, but that won't be out for a while. And like I said, there are some other things in the works on the back burner. But for now, this 1,000 piece run will at least take me until October. Suppressor covers. Brian Duchesne, usually use the Armageddon gear. If you get a Thunder Beast, it's going to be made by Armageddon gear. I know there's a ton of other companies out there, but I've had no issues with theirs. 300 PRC versus 300 RUM. You know, I just shot a 300 PRC a couple weeks ago. I have no experience with the RUM, so somebody else will have to answer that. What's the warranty? The warranty on the can is going to be determined, I guess. What did we come up with, Sam? Do you know? I think it's going to be covered under normal wear and tear. I mean, if just there is no time frame that I know of it. If you get a baffle strike, we'll be able to service it for you. I'm sure there'll be a charge on there. You shouldn't have any issues with baffle strikes or anything else, as long as everything is concentric on your bore and all that. So Jackson says he wants R2K22. Think about the R² K9, but in like a 1-inch tube, and it's modular. It's crazy quiet. No one-time stupid. I don't. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. Oh man, Mike D. Any comments on the one-hole black hole weaponry, on the old black hole weaponry barrels? Black hole weaponry barrels. Had one sitting in a box for 10 years and just found it. Mike D. I've only had one experience with a black hole weaponry barrel. I actually won it at a match. It wasn't a table one. I had to actually custom order it. And I got it with the fluting and the integrated muzzle brake, and you name it, it had it. And I believe they have been bought out. I think Black Hole Weaponry was bought out by something armed, starts with a C. And I did not have a lot of luck with that barrel. Ended up selling it, and that's that. No, I do not trim my 9mm cases, period. If not, how do you get a consistent taper crimp? I just do just a light crimp on it. I don't have any issues with pushback or anything else, setback. Just a kiss on it, and it's usually good enough for what I'm loading. So I've always done it. Let's see here. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm trying to get caught up. 260 Remington versus 6.5 Creedmoor. Oh, one I can actually answer. Holy crud. Semper 6.5 Gabriel. I've been shooting the 260 longer than I've been shooting the 6.5 Creedmoor because it's been out a lot longer. You know, the 6.5 Creedmoor didn't even come into play into later into 2000, 2007 or something like that. It is essentially the exact same cartridge, with the exception of the shoulder. Okay. However, you can get more powder and you can get more velocity out of that 260, but what you can't get are some of these ELD bullets. The 6.5 Creedmoor just kind of lends itself better to a longer bullet. I like them both. I really do. But I'm going to have to say, just to keep everything the same, 6.5 Creedmoor, don't have any issues with it, and I've kind of gotten away from the 260. You know, I did review, the last 260 I reviewed was a JP Rifles, beautiful rifle that was sent to me by MS1 Inc., Ethan Manning and Sons, and I love that. I almost bought that from him. I like that rifle so much. I do go CB brake on my Thunder Beast cans just because I have so many rifles that I switch them back and forth with, but I do like the CB brake, not direct thread. Yes, that's it. Columbia River Arms. That's correct, Mike. I knew it started with a C. Okay, the name of the R squared K9, that is actually a formula. It's not really the R2 K9, it's R squared K9. It is the coefficient of determination. So if you look it up, R squared K9 is the coefficient of determination. So that's where that name comes from. A little bit of trivia there. The R2K9 has a very unique tone. That is what the chatter was when I took that to the Iraq Veteran 8888 shoot, as well as the Big Daddy Unlimited shoot, the one that Jerry Mitchell when he shot it. It has a really unique note. A lot of people liken it to like a bird chirping. I don't hear that at all. But yeah, it has a very unique tone. Yeah, Mike D, unfortunately, that was disappointing because it took about 6 months for them to make that barrel for me. But I think they might have been going through that. Yeah, Columbia River is Black Hole Weaponry. I know they're the same now, but I don't know what was going on, but it took forever to get that. Where's Elmo? Elmo's more of a Rick thing. It's cute, and I like it. Some people don't like it. I do know that. I did get some emails about that. I need to keep it professional, but it's okay. What powder to use for 9mm? Jason, I use tight group. I know it's dirty. In my 40 cal, I use nothing but Vitavori. But for as much 9mm I shoot, the tight group works, and I just clean a little better. You know, I don't know, DW. If I had to guess, I would say Rick took Elmo with him to California. Knowing Rick, it's probably his sleeping buddy. Armament Axis uses CFE pistol. I do like the CFE 223, and I've got a lot of the CFE pistol, but I've got so much tight group, I'm just going to keep shooting it until I don't have any more. That's the beauty of the whole hand loading, straight wall rounds, not trimming cases. Yep. There's comments on Black Hole Weapons. Because the majority of info out there is when the company was falling apart and customers had problems. Yeah, and maybe it was. Like I said, my barrel that I had, I mean, I pulled out all the stops. It was unlimited on what I could get, and it went through their little custom deal. It took forever for me to get it, but it was a beautiful barrel. It really was. That muzzle brake was machined into the barrel itself, so you could actually slide the gas block over. I think it was a 930 gas block, but yeah, I did have some issues with it. I couldn't find a load that it liked at all. Are fluted barrels a waste of money in PRS shooting? Another great question. You know, a lot of people say fluted barrels are worth it because it gives more surface area. Think about it, guys. If you have just a cylindrical shape and then all of a sudden you put scallops in it, you're getting more surface area. And they say that assists with cooling. Other people say that fluting helps to stiffen the barrel or change the harmonics. I don't know what the actual answer is. I can't say that I've seen a difference in, because I've had some FNSPRs with the heavy fluting, and I really can't say I've noticed something one way or the other with it. You know, anytime you take a cylindrical object and you start adding more angles to it, think about an old-fashioned garbage can. when it's corrugated, or cardboard when it's corrugated, it makes it stronger. Maybe that adds to the rigidity. I don't know. Maybe somebody else here can tell me. Let me see here. You get caught up because we're deaf. R squared suppressor is quiet. Andrew, I know he likes blue dot. Unique. Unique is good. Hey, my pleasure, Mike D. K9 Coach uses universal. No, shout out. It wasn't a 224 Valkyrie. It was just a standard 223 barrel. I think it was 223 Wild. But like I said, the 224. Guys, I've had no luck with 224 Valkyrie. I'm done with that. Let's see. Uprise Armory, not familiar with them. Alliant powders are dirty. Dirty powder. Conservative Sniper Hunter, I am not sure on the 6 arc yet. I think it's a 7.5. And Ken, I have not shot the Hickory Groundhog shoot. Yeah, got Ariel. As a matter of fact, I'm loaning Rick the primary arms 6-30 with the Athena reticle so that he can be in production division in the PRS match that's upcoming, because the Razor HD kicked him out of that because there's a $2,000 limit on it, and the MSRP on that primary arms is like $1,600, I think, $1,599 or something like that. So yeah, he's actually shooting production division. Let's see here. Let me get caught up. Almost an escape from boredom. Puts a smile on your face. Yeah, there's a time and place. It's just so funny. Shout out to the recently departed, still upset. Yeah, let's give out a shout out for you guys that don't know. Frank DeSoma with Patriot Ordnance Factory. Great guy. I've spoken to him many times. I always met him at SHOT Show. We've exchanged some information back and forth, but he was tragically killed in a car crash last Thursday. Basically, they're saying that a vehicle might have swiped in front of him. He left the roadway and flipped his Jeep. So, yeah, I hate that. It seems like the good ones die young, you know, and you always have something. I think, what was it, Noveski? Same way. It was a car crash. So, you never know, guys. Or as I always say, life is shortest at its longest. Okay. Machining barrel creates stresses, no doubt, just for looks. So yeah, that's another thing too. I mean, even with, depending on whether you're pulling or, you know, depending on how you're doing your lands and grooves, it does create stress. And a lot of times you have to heat treat those so it relieves that stress in there. So HRM Weapons Machine is saying, no doubt, just for looks. Let's see here. This is why I love this chat, man. There's so much information sharing here. It's awesome. Yeah, I hope the 6 arc isn't a dud. I'm hoping not anyway. Chris Smith, as of right now, I am signed up for open division shooting the AI and 6mm Creedmoor. There is a chance, a small chance, that I could be getting an arc rifle before then, and I would literally have to sight it in and get dope on it the day before the match, which I might do. Look, I'm up for a challenge. It'd be fun. Either way. Yeah, so I knew some people wouldn't know, so yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Andrew. So Todd, yeah, you didn't know about it, but yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened last Thursday, I believe it was. Let's see. Optics Planets gave you 13% off military discount. Awesome. Yeah, it's actually a good scope. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. I haven't done a full-on review. I've actually had that scope for about 4 or 5 months, but I really wanted to put it through its paces. And then now you've got Rick that's going to be putting it on top of his rifle for one of the bigger PRS matches around, and we'll see how it does. All right, let me get caught up, guys. Try my best. Yeah, that's why it's important to enjoy the people you have while you can, because you never know. That's exactly right. And I've been exposed to that a lot, been around a lot of death, and you just never know. You never know who that, you leave your spouse or whatever. Always leave on good terms, no matter what. Even if you're having a disagreement, leave on good terms. You never know. I just see spending $100 to $300 on fluting a barrel a waste of money. I agree. Spend it on a trigger. Do something else. Am I planning to attend the Mile Day at Clinton House this weekend? Larry, I am not sure. I might. No, I'm not. I don't know. I've got so much going on, and I have to do a ton of loading for this match, and I might do a review on a Accuracy International 338 Lapua. So we'll see. We'll see. That's ballsy going to a match, PRS match with 1 day's worth of dope. Hats off to you. Yeah, I mean, come on, what's the worst that happened? I miss every target. I'm going there to have fun. I want to be hanging out with friends. I don't think I'll miss every target, but, if I finish, as long as I don't finish dead last, I think I'll be good. I'll be happy. I'll tell you something else I learned too. And for the PRS shooters out there, I didn't realize they don't have a 180-degree rule. Guys, basically, they give you 60 left, 60 right. So you have a 120-degree rule instead of 180. That's something that could get someone like me in some trouble because we're so used to this 180-degree rule. And I also noticed that when they go from one target to another, let's say I'm engaging a target at 400 yards. So, and I fire it at a target at 400. They don't close it and then go to the 600-yard target. That might be some type of penalty or something. What I see is I see them engage the target, open the bolt, get on the 600, and then close it. Fire. Let's say the next one's 800. They open it. They move. Even if they're in a fixed position, they're always doing it with the bolt open. That could get me as well. Let me get caught up. I'm getting way behind on comments here. Hold on. 6mm arc will stay around, according to Ramsey Country. The 6 PPC had been around for 40 years. Yeah. Yeah, it's so close to the 6 PPC. I mean, it's just crazy accurate. So we'll see what this arc does. I won't say anything till I shoot it. No, if I get the arc, I will. Okay, so Chris, if I get the arc from this company, because I have one personally being built, but if I get the arc from this company, I will be in the gas gun division, semi-auto. We're attempting to shoot together on the same squad for multiple reasons. I'm going to bring the Really Right Stuff tripod, and we only want to ship one set of bags, so hopefully we can share gear. Been hunting for a long time, but now I fancy going into target shooting. Would my hunting rifles be any use? Eric, I don't think so. And if it can, your strings of fire would have to be much longer. I mean, there's plenty of hunting rifles out there that you can reach out to distance, but most of them are set up for hunting and for lighter weight. And so you're going to get more recoil. You're going to get more stringing out of the barrel. I'm not saying you can't. It depends on what type of hunting rifle you have. If you've got like a pencil barrel, like an old Winchester Model 70 or something like that, yeah, you can do a couple of shots, but it's not going to be the best. Let's see here. Abigail says, yeah, right on the head, Ray. Yeah, Ramsey Country says a lot of guys use hunting rifles, just go have fun. And that's the key thing, guys. Just go and have fun. It doesn't always have to be about winning. It's just going and having a good time. All right, Shibal Siki. All right, this is awesome. Okay, so he says his ATC gold trigger doubles when he shoots suppressed on an SBR. Is there anything I can do to resolve it or just trash it? ATC gold trigger is a good trigger. However, when you get into some of these triggers like that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that trigger itself, and even with the guys that like the Super 3G, you start putting cans on little SBRs, you can make them pretty much double or triple or go mag dump at will. You just loosen your grip up a little bit, and I wouldn't trash it. I would probably keep the trigger and just throw something else in there. Yeah, Jackson, if we ever get out of Bud Light flu lockdown, Man, I have no idea how far this is going to go. I just learned today. Sam told me that they're saying in North Carolina that if you can't do social distancing, masks are going to be a requirement. So they're bringing all this crap back on. Jeez. Funky calibers. Which ones do you think will stick? 5.56 and 308. And the rest we'll have to see. Shout out says they'll be fine with the 120-degree rule. Dang, what's the point of that? Jabari, I don't know. Maybe they have their stages closer together and they don't want you swinging over to the next stage as much. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, Todd. Okay, you're doing a mind bender here. If I was going to attempt to shoot 3 miles, what rifle, cartridge, mount, and scope? Go. Okay, so number one, I know nothing about shooting 2 miles, much less 3. So if I shot 3 miles, it'd be something like one of the Shy-Tac rounds in a custom build. I don't even know about the mount because, you're going to have to do something like the MOA Precision or something like that or have some custom mount built. This is why I'm not getting into that game. And then, you're going to have a Charlie TACCOM or the Nikon Prism. I don't even want to mess with that. You ever have any issues with your Microtech out the fronts not firing? I don't, but a lot of people do because you do need to maintain them. And Joey, what I'm going to recommend you do is find you a can of aerosol rim oil, the green and yellow can like you get at Walmart, aerosol. What I want you to do is go outside and flood the absolute living crap out of that knife. Flood it. Hold it upside down. Work the action about 5 or 6 times. Flood the crap out of it again. And then what you want to do is just blow it out with compressed air or use your air compressor. And that should fix it. If you have any issues, you do have a lifetime warranty on that knife. You can just send it in. Just go to the website, get an RA, and they will fix you up. Screw the guns. He's getting an excavator. He's going shopping tomorrow. 0% interest. Yeah, excavator would be nice. Yeah, bolt has to be open when moving and before sighting in your next target. Yeah, I knew it had to be open when moving, but I did not know that you could be on the same bay, same string of targets, and let's say one was just to the right of the other one, that you had to keep it open the whole time. So that could get me. That could get me. I don't know how they handle that. Are you DQ'd? Don't know. Guys trying to get caught up here. Hold on, let me see. What'll happen is about 50 of them will come in, and then I'm at the top, and I got to figure out what questions I've missed. Jabari 308, I have to agree with you. You'll make a ton of good friends shooting competition and people just wanting to share the knowledge, kind of like all of us here, sharing our experiences with each other. Stages are closer together, correct. Yeah. Yeah, 416. There you go. 3 miles of howitzer. I hear a lot of good things about the Bergara conservative sniper hunter. 14 came back with Corona. 40 just went to the beach. Yeah, this is crazy. Baldwin Curious, so he's asking about curvature of the earth and Coriolis and all that. 3 miles, yeah, it is going to come into play. When I see guys at the range and they're worried about all that and it's 1,000 yards, I'm like, look, don't even worry about it. I think you're going to have as much error depending on the direction you're shooting and where you're located. 3 miles, yeah, it's going to matter. Good shooting on long and longer PRS match. There will be some heavy hitters. Oh, absolutely. There's going to be a ton of heavy hitters at this one. Passing the second round of stimulus. You got to be freaking kidding. Levi, glad you got it. I'm glad you like your new knife. I think you were one of the winners of Rick's giveaway. All right, so Eric says, my hunting rifle, nothing fancy, just a Tikka T3X. Okay, so Eric, you're good. That T3X will be fine. I don't consider a T3X a hunting rifle. Yeah, it is a hunting rifle and can be used for that. Well, that's one heck of a hunting rifle. You'll be fine. You can do plenty of long range shooting with that. All right. What angle are Microtech knives sharpened at? John Talley, I think it's 18 to 22 degrees depending on the model. What steel is being used? You see 3 different steels from sellers online. SBR Grendel, great question. You're going to see either LMAX Bowler, it's a Bowler LMAX, and you have Bowler M390, and then you have Carpenter 204P. So those should be the 3 steels you're seeing. No rhyme or reason. We have a lot of those 3 in inventory, and whatever comes up next, that's what we'll use. They're all very, very similar. They are all considered super steels. We tried to go exclusively 204P because it is Carpenter American-made steel. That way we're not outsourcing it from Europe, getting the Bowler, which is European-based. But unfortunately, that doesn't work as far as getting the supplies in. So, yeah, there's that. Upgrade from the car seat. I don't know what he's talking about. Upgrade from the car seat. When is Ella's Mini X's first competition? She is shooting this Friday. She is going to go to the Friday night fights. It's 50 steals or 50 targets, 50 rounds. You do 2 stages. She'll shoot 100 rounds. I don't know if her arms can handle it. I know she's good for about 40 rounds, but to do 2 stages, I'm not sure. Is it too soon? Maybe, but she wants to do it, and I'm going to be behind her on that. I did do another video with her, so maybe I'll put that up, but I didn't want to put out 2 live chats and a video today and throw a 3rd one up, so maybe tomorrow. RPR is a hunting rifle, terrorist hunting. I hear you, Val. What would you zero an 11.5 5.56 with a red dot for home defense? I would go BH. I would go 50-yard zero on that. I really would. DW says, yeah, I wonder how much gun control is in the stimulus. I don't know, but I guarantee you those stimulus checks bought a lot of guns. I'm reading up, catching up. I appreciate it, SBR Grendel 65. I try my best with her. You know, another thing about Ella, I'll go ahead and tell you this, guys. She is homeschooled. My wife does a great job. She's a nurse, and she makes the time to homeschool Ella. Look, I realize you can't keep kids away from the world and all of that, but this way we could have a little more control because kids are very influenced, especially around this area. I mean, geez, I mean, if you hang around Asheville too long, you're gonna be a vegan, anti-gun, Democrat, and what else, Sam? Oh, and you'll drive a Subaru. that's what'll happen if you come to Asheville. Yeah, I appreciate that +5. It really is her shooting. Yeah, and guys, we're not taking any takes. We are literally taking her out 15 to 20 minutes, and that's it. I don't want this to be grueling for her or anything like that. Today we worked on some movement and reloading. She's doing great with the muzzle discipline and the finger. Basically, I'll take about 50 rounds out there, let her shoot it, or less. As a matter of fact, those videos we did with Rick, we only shot 12, 14 rounds that first day. So I want to see how she does with it. Let's see here. X-Ring, my daughter hates my guts. She's also bigger than you. Yeah, I think you told me that. Keep her away from Asheville. Yeah, Barry, we do. Matt Cross says, that's excellent. I was homeschooled, and I'm homeschooling my kids as well. Yeah, I think, Matt, this day and age, there's something to be said about that. Oh, appreciate that shout out. I'll let her know. Shout out 88. It's like Iraq veteran, 88. My 11.5 has a 25-meter zero because I'm not really shooting it any further. Okay, so Abigail, I've talked about this before, and I know someone else had asked the question. 11.5 barrel is plenty capable to make a long-distance shot. And when you talk about home defense, I do realize you're talking about up close, okay? And the 20 yard and the 25 yard, did you say yard or meter? Let me look at it again. Regardless, I know a lot of different agencies were working with those 20 and 25 yard zeros, but that height over bore can really come into play when you start getting out a little bit, because you never know if you're going to have to engage something further. So that's why I'm kind of dead set on that 50 to 200. You know, get a good solid 200 yard zero with that 11.5 inch barrel, and you will never have to worry about anything from 0 out to 200 yards. You're going to hit it. No more than 2.5 inches high or low. Bald and curious, Subarus are cool. My son has a Forester, loves it. Pontius Pilot, it does not come with a tri-lug yet. We already have one engineered, but it will only come with the half 28 and the 13.5 by 1. You don't have a choice on that. That's what comes in the kit. But we do have the other pistons available, the half 32, half 36, and 5/8 by 24. Oh, jeez, Todd, I love your comment there. He says, I drive a Subaru. That makes him a lesbian. Oh, well. You know, my wife drove a Subaru for a while as well. I mean, everybody in Nashville drives a Subaru. I had no idea that so many people own Subarus, but they are great vehicles. They really are. Let me see here. You guys are making me laugh. Yeah, Jackson, Asheville is not the same as it was 20 years ago. This place is crazy. Just go to the drum circle and hang out for a little bit. X-Ring, do you approach gun manufacturers to request firearms to evaluate, or do they contact you? Or do gun shops ask you to evaluate firearms? Guys, that's a very, very good question and something I want to talk about. I'm not one of those that approach manufacturers, okay? I do not send out emails to manufacturers requesting to do a review on this, that, and the other. A big majority of the things that I review are either mine or they are property of Microtech, depending on what it is. A few items have been sent to me by people I've established a relationship with. I already had an established relationship with some manufacturers in both ammunition and gun manufacturing prior to me doing the X-Ring channel. I typically don't reach out. I do have a lot of people reach out to me. Unfortunately, I do turn down about 95% of the people that reach out to me for sending their products in for evaluation. I already have enough going on. It's really tough to I don't want to have to answer to somebody on their review on when it needs to go out or when it needs to be posted. That's my biggest thing. I'll get to it when I get to it, basically. And I don't like to hold people's stuff too long. Great question, though, by the way. Thanks, Bob Smith. I appreciate it. Elfster, most of his ARs and AKs have 50-yard zeros. Todd, we have a lot in common. We really do. WRX doesn't count. No, WRX is a great car. You guys know that I have a long background in racing cars, and I actually spent a lot of time in a WRX STI. Actually, I spent 30 days on a track, 8 hours a day, evaluating that against a 135i when those were released in the United States. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was damn impressed with the WRX STI. That was a long month. It really was. Subaru's hippie cars. Hey, you know what? I'm starting to resemble that remark. All right, let's see here. 8-inch target zero, point blank range is good to 300 yards with a 50-yard zero. Okay, so here we go. Would a lab radar chrono work on a public range? Yeah, even easier than a standard chronograph because you don't have to go forward of the line. You can actually just set it on the table right there beside of your rifle or pistol or you're on your tripod, and it should be fine. Now, if you're asking about interference, try to get something on the end and get the Doppler to where it's just facing that end. I've been able to use it and not pick up other people shooting beside of me, but it just depends on if you can get that in lane. I'm not saying it will all work, but it could work. Let's see here. 25 meters is 27.34 yards. James says he declares himself as a Subaru. Talking Rock, 50-yard zero. I only breathe vegan, eco-friendly air and drink organic, gluten-free water. Eric, you have no idea how many people would actually say that up in this area. Mini X, Ella, was actually ridiculed because she would bring meat sandwiches. I mean, you know, sandwiches with ham and turkey and things like that. And she actually did a sleepover at her friend's house. And she was there for like 2 days, and they would not feed her any meat. And they said, "We don't care what your requirement is. You're going to eat this way while you're here in our house." And that's cool, but come on, you know, it actually upset her stomach. So I'm sharing my life with you guys. Wow. 111 people. You're all part of the family. I appreciate it. Let's see. Was the E36 M3 in your Top Shot videos yours? Yes, it was. That was actually the E36. I had a red one that was a drift car that I purchased. Oh, there's a long story about that too. You guys would love it. It's the only time in my life I've ever ridden in a Greyhound bus. I was going to a different state to pick the car up. I was going to drive it back, and I will never, ever, ever ride on a Greyhound again. It was the most awful stench that you can imagine. Anyway, all right, let's see here. Are you going to get a man bun? Absolutely not. A gun guy. Yes, I've heard that one before. Why do you guys still buy second focal plane scopes for long range shooting? I don't, countryman. I do not have a second focal plane scope for long distance shooting. Everything I have is first focal plane. Oh, why do guys? Sorry. You know, there is a place for it. Like F-class, I think those guys all prefer it. But unless you're milling with your target, and as long as your reticle's not too thick, I don't think that a second focal is bad. The reason we have to have it is we have a lot of dead optic stages where you have to mill using your reticle, and you can do it with a second focal, but you have to be on a certain power, and it can be a little more difficult. There is a place for it. Let's see here. Let me get caught up. Trying my best. After what distance does high BC bullets really begin to matter? Oh man, that would just be a swag on my part. Maybe Ramsey Country can answer that, or maybe Todd Elfster. Rumble Strip ask, after what distance does high BC bullets really begin to matter? If I had to guess, and like I said, this is just a wild guess, I'm going to say at 400-ish, it's going to really start to matter. Let's see, less STIs in Asheville, more Foresters with coexist stickers. Oh, absolutely, Barry. Yeah, you don't see many WRX STIs around here. What you see are Outbacks and Foresters. That's it. And they're all going to have coexist stickers or Hillary or the Obama rainbow or something. Crap like that. Christmas is going to be good this year. Thank you, Uncle X-Ring. No man bun. Let's see. It's okay. All Tacoma owners are future Jeep owners. 1 to 6 I'm getting as a first focal. Let's see here. If you didn't like the bus, never ride Amtrak. See, that's the thing, Brian. I used to ride Amtrak all the time, but I would always get the sleeper. And so I would have the little sleeper to myself, didn't have to worry about it. I'd go up to Maryland for some stuff, and I did that trip a lot going up towards Baltimore. And man, I tell you what, the bus trip was absolutely horrible. I had to go through Atlanta. It was horrible, really was. I'm out in country here in Bandera, Texas, and I'm not sure if any of us know the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian. Yeah, okay, so a vegetarian is someone that likes to stay away from meat, and they just eat vegetarian food. A vegan is somebody that, like, their entire lifestyle, they don't own, like, leather products. You know, they don't do anything with, like, lard or animal fat. I mean, vegan is, like, all the way to the other end. All right, let me catch up. That's my understanding anyway. When Ray the Flatulent says the most awful stench you can imagine, I can't imagine. You can't. Matt Cross, I kid you not. I had a Gore-Tex jacket, and I rode from Atlanta to Tennessee, and I took the hood and I covered the top of my head with it, and I never came out from underneath it the entire time. I like that, Elfster. You drive 500 miles to get a Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, Eric, it was regret and bad decisions. It was. What is up, Lurch? Man, 105 people on board. I got to shut this down here shortly. I know you guys are getting tired of me, but let's see. In my opinion, BC matters the minute they leave the muzzle. Yeah, you know, that would have been the easy answer for it. And I thought about answering that way because it does matter because, you know, to get the ballistic coefficient, basically you're measuring the bullet velocity at the muzzle, and then you're taking a known distance. Let's say, you know, if you're using an Ola or something like that, it might, you know, be 30 yards or whatever. But in theory, let's say you could put a chronograph at 1,000 yards. What you do is you get the velocity there, and then you start measuring the drop in velocity over the distance, and you'll come up with a ballistic coefficient. Because ballistic coefficients that are posted on the box, guys, are just average numbers. Okay, it's not an absolute. Okay, it can change. That's why you can ballistically coefficient or ballistically true your data on like Strelok or Applied Ballistics, anything like that. All right, let's see. No magic yards for high BC bullets, depending on the caliber. I'd say most rifles are around 400 plus yards. Yeah, there you go, Ramsey. I like that. 400 yards. Definitely 1,000 and beyond. So, vegetarians eat cheese and drink milk. Some eat eggs. Vegans eat nothing from animals. There you go, Bob Jones. That was my understanding as well. You just worded it a lot better than I did. I'm not feeling too articulate tonight. What Night Force optic would you recommend for someone who is on a budget and would need to save a while to get one? Bob Smith, the SHVs are great Night Force optics. It is what they call their hunting line, but they do track well. Had no issues with them. I've won quite a few of those in matches, and I've been impressed with it. So something like that might suit your needs. Oh, the new KTM off-road models came out yesterday. Can't only have time to think about motorcycles right now. I think I've ridden that KTM since I got it twice, and it's like been in a circle in the house at the house. Let's see here. Want a Vortex 1 to 10, but 2K is too much. I'm thinking getting US Optics 1 to 8 for 800. Okay, let me caution you here on this one. Shout out 8888. The Vortex 1 to 10, I don't think you have to pay $2,000. I think Liberty Optics, you can get them for a little cheaper, maybe $1,600, $1,700, which is still a lot of money. That US Optics 1 to 8, I believe that's a Philippines-made scope. I'm almost 100% sure of that. Make sure you look through one before you purchase it, because I did look through those at SHOT Show, and I was told that those were made in the Philippines by someone that represented the company, because I was not happy with what I saw through the reticle, or through the scope itself. I didn't climb this far up the ladder to eat shrubs. That's right. I'm opposite vegan, hangs out with wolves. I'm right there with you, +5. Yeah, there you go. See, Ramsey Country's backing me up. See, I do know what I'm talking about every once in a while. He says, exactly, do a long-range ballistic coefficient correction. At your max distance, you'll be shooting. That's right. All right, Brian Duchesne says the Adaball 1 to 10 at $800 is just as good as the Vortex. Favorite AI rifle? This is for at C4 USMC. You know, I guess the one that I'm shooting now, the previous AI rifles, I never liked the stock, even the folding stock. It folded in a funny way. You couldn't get to the trigger. Not that you can get to the trigger on the one now, but I just didn't like the chassis system, the way it was set up. The newer one, I love it. I think it's great. That one, that 308 that I reviewed, I wasn't a big fan of that. This 338 that I'm going to review, and it's a brand new rifle. It's never even had a round through it. Let's see if I can make it out to the range this week and get you the review on that 338. I should have the 6mm Proof Conviction, and that was not on loan from Proof. So I should have that. I was supposed to have it Tuesday, but I just checked the shipping and somehow it got delayed. I think it'll be here Friday. More vegans mean more Wagyu steak for me. I love Wagyu beef. U.S. Optics TS line are Philippines, made and cost a lot less than their B series. That's exactly right, +5. B series is still the standard that they always had before. They just want to be more competitive in the market. And there you go. I'm a carnivorous. He's a carnivore. Not to be confused with carnival. Okay. Most rifles will show a noticeable difference at 400. Yeah, so I was kind of spot on, even though it was a wild ass guess. 400, I think, is where it's at. BC is all about air drag and is always important, but something that really starts to, no pun intended, to be a drag even at 200 yards. Guys, there's some good information on here. Would you take 8 cases of Diet Coke and 12 dozen Krispy Kremes for a new suppressor? Daniel, unfortunately, no. The ATF really watches my Diet Coke and Krispy Kreme intake. Joey Bender can't answer that question. I am planning on getting one of those 1 to 10s here soon, but I just have too many irons in the fire right now. Steiner P4XI or the Trijicon 1 to 4 AccuPoint? Ooh. That'd be tough. Be tough. I might have to say the Steiner. I never really was a fan of the Trijicon 1 to 4s. I'll just go ahead and put that out there. All right, Todd, thanks for joining in. I'm getting ready to shut it down here in just a second as well. Mike, for a plug and play, yes, but there are better cartridges out there. So Ramsey was answering. A-Gun Guy says Steiner, and you guys can read the comments as well as I can. What's wrong with a Savage Action and a good chassis? There's nothing wrong with a Savage Action. I think they do make some good actions. And that is definitely one way to do it, Papa's Place. It's always going to be that Indian, not the arrow. The lecturing needs to take some bacon next sleepover to convert them. Actually, she doesn't go there anymore. Yeah, that didn't sit well with Miss X-Ring or myself. ATF is watching everything too much. Yeah, absolutely. That ojive curve is balanced. Guys, this is great information. I've been on here for 72 minutes, and I always plan on it being a 15-minute chat. 106 people in here. Guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys watching and helping this channel grow. I always still try to come up with good content. I also want to say this because some people might misconstrue it. I hope no one thinks that I put Ella on the channel to better my views or anything like that. I just wanted to share that with you guys with a younger shooter. No one said anything, but I wanted to go ahead and head this off at the pass because she really does have a desire to embrace this, and I know how people can be and read into things, so I just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. I do the channel because I think it's fun, and I do appreciate everybody. James, appreciate your comment there. And I hope you guys have a great evening. I'm sure I will post up another video tomorrow with our moving and shooting with Ella today. And then I will definitely get you guys a video on Friday or Saturday after she shoots the match. Regardless of how she does, as long as she has a good time with it, that's what it's all about. Hope you guys have a great evening. And I will talk to you soon. Take care, guys and gals.